Hello everybody, how's it going? Today we are rebooting our best cheap Steam games under $10 series, which was the most popular video I have ever made, and I apologize for stopping the series because apparently you guys want to see it. Since I made that first video though, I have changed up the algorithm and ways that I have ranked games, so you're gonna see a couple repeats on this video. I apologize, but I didn't feel right just continuing on to that series when some of those games were ranked wrong and according to my new list. Anyways, I hope you enjoy. We'll be doing a Steam list video every single Friday, and we'll continue this series throughout the year. At number 5, we have a Valve game coming in, which is Half-Life 2. Now, some of you may be thinking, Luke, are you that old, boring, dull? I mean, how could you recommend a game that is from all the way back of 2004? Well, I can recommend it because it is rated one of the best PC games of all time, one of the best first-person single-player shooters, and yes, it's old, but it doesn't look terrible, and it has one of the best stories rated of all time. If you don't believe me, you can go look at Metacritic or any critic really. On Metacritic though, it has a 96 rating, which really there's only about 20 other games that have a higher rating of all time. If somehow, some way you have never heard of the Half-Life series, essentially it's a first-person single-player shooter where you are Gordon Freeman, a research scientist who, well, turns pretty BA in the game. You start fighting the man, you start fighting off the aliens, and eventually, well, you pretty much get to save the whole Earth. To be fair though, I haven't finished the first one yet, and I'm one of those guys who can't move on to the second game until I finish the first. So I've only played a little bit of this game in order to get ready for this video, but even the first half hour of the game hooked me in. It was pretty intense, and I can see the appeal of the game. It seems pretty awesome. Essentially, the only negative feedback I've even seen on Steam is those people who are complaining to Valve saying, why have you not made a third game? Which is a pretty good actual positive feedback if you think about it. So for $9.99, this is going to be a stellar game, and of course you can always wait till one of the Steam major sales, and usually you can find this game for pennies. At number 4, we have the game Counter-Strike. Now, technically, the way I do these lists in the ranking system I have, this game should actually be at number 1 based on how many sales, how many current players, and the rating of the game. Although I do add a little bit of personal bias to these ranking systems, and guess what? I'm actually not a huge fan of the game. It's really tough to get into. These people have been playing this game forever. They pretty much can just snipe you from anywhere and one shot kill you. I'm not great at multiplayer shooters, but even if you are, you're still gonna have to put in a lot of time and effort looking up things on YouTube, practicing, because these guys, most of them have been playing for a really long time, and I would not recommend this as a new multiplayer shooter or casual as much as some people love it. I have had rough experiences, and part of that is, yes, I have not put enough effort in myself, but if you want to, go ahead. This is a great shooter if you are willing to do that. And again, it's $9.99, but again, this is one of those Valve games that you can pick up on a Steam sale for pennies or in a bundle and have a go at it. Even though this game is from 2000, you don't have to worry about finding enough players to play a game, because even now, the 24-hour peak, it's hitting 25,000 players at a time. At number 3, we have another Valve game. Wait, no, that can't be right. It seems like Steam is maybe a little bit biased towards Valve or something like that. That's weird. But anyways, this game, Portal, is one of my favorites. I really need to get back into it and complete the game. But really, it's just a genius puzzle game, first person. And I don't know, there's just so much creativity to how these puzzles are made. They can leave you a little bit mind boggled at times. And then after a while, you're like, oh, wait, that was the answer? That's all I had to do? There's been many Portal puzzles that I've tried, and afterwards I'm like, man, I'm an idiot. That was so much easier than what I was trying to do. Yet, you know, at least I'm a satisfied idiot because it was fun trying to figure it out along the way. This game definitely earns one of the top 5 spots in cheap Steam games under $10 because it is the 3rd best rated game out of all the Steam games under $10. It's the 5th most sold, and even though it's a single player game that was made over a decade now, is still ranked number 9 for Steam players within the last 2 weeks, which you wouldn't think it would because only usually multiplayer games have that replayability and people keep continuing to play even if it's old. But this is a single player game that's still getting a lot of playtime even today. This may be more of a casual game than those intense shooters from before, but you know what? This storyline is still great, it's funny, and it still has some intense moments to it as well. The second best Steam game under $10 is going to be Garry's Mod, also known as Gmod, which sounds like a pretty cool nickname if you think about it. Yo, what's up, Gmod? Anyways though, besides that embarrassing intro to this game was originally number 1 on the first list that I made. However, it dropped to number 2 because there was a game that ranks better in rating and pretty much has the exact same player base. Now, it's a little bit weird to talk about Garry's Mod because, well, it's a sandbox game and anything and anyone can do whatever they want on this game essentially. The biggest, probably most known game mode in this is Prop Hunt, which lots of streamers and YouTubers play because you get to be a hidden object and then the other players get to shoot you and try to figure out what prop you are in the game. It's pretty fun and can make for some hilarious moments, especially if you have some friends playing with you. The other big game mode is Trouble in Terrace Town, which I tried to play, but unfortunately for me, it bugged out multiple times and I kind of gave up. But essentially, you're a detective trying to solve the crimes in the town, or you're a criminal that gets to do whatever you want as long as you can cover it up. It's hard to say this game isn't worth the $10 because it's a mod and pretty much can generate infinite content. However, this game does go on sale quite often if you want to wait for $5 off. Also, you might want to try to convince your friends to buy it because in my opinion, it's also really not as much fun single player, but if you get some friends on, it can be the time of your life. And at number 1, is Terraria. Guess what, guys? I said it right this time. On my last video, I made the mistake of completely butchering the name, and I thought I actually might get murdered over the community who complained so much about me and my pronunciation. But it's okay, I get it. All is good, all is love, guys. This time around, Terraria took the number 1 spot over because it was the 3rd best rated game under $10, the 3rd most copies sold, and the 2nd most amount of players in the last 2 weeks. Not bad for a cheap Steam game that wasn't made by Valve. For those of you that don't know anything about this game, it is a 2D side-scroller sandbox adventure game. Now, a lot of people have compared it as a 2D Minecraft, which is a fair way to say it if you're just trying to get a basic understanding of the game, but I think it goes so much further than Minecraft with its excellent combat. It's an insane amount of content. There are people in the feedback that says you can literally play this game for 1,000 hours and still be surprised, still have different things uncovered, and still have different creative ways to build and explore. I haven't gotten incredibly far into the game, but from what I hear and what I know, there isn't necessarily a story to the game, but there's lore to uncover, there's different stages, and seriously though, apparently it just has an amazing amount of content. For $10, you can keep yourself entertained for almost ever, and not only that, you can invite your friends and play with them. If you want to wait for it to go on sale though, it has been seen at times at its cheapest for a measly $2. You're telling me that YouTube's gonna give me a full 20 seconds to convince you to subscribe? Well, I hope that convinced